welcome to the Stash-down Diaries. My name is Jen, and this is Maisie, and this is my YouTube channel where I talk all about my knitting projects and plans with a focus on stashing down. So, if that interests you, I'm about to get into what I worked on in the last week, and I'm just going to let her be on her merry way. Isn't she cute, though? If you're new here, I am coming to you from beautiful Cape Breton Island, which is very dreary today. I live in Bedeck with my 2 cats and my dog Piper. Ginny, my kitten, is here as well, although they're not quite as kitteny as they used to be. They're going to be 1 year old on April 1st. And then Maisie, who you just saw, is just on the floor in front of me having a little bath. And Piper is downstairs, and she might be along soon and interrupt the proceedings here. So that is just how things occur in these parts. So anyway, I'm just going to get into it. No acquisitions. I did have an FO / or finished object / new cast on, which is this. So this was part of Malabrigo March. I decided I'd do one more Malabrigo March project and then just work on my other things that I have going on. But I have, which you will see in a bit, I have started using some Malabrigo scraps in one of my scrappy blankets to try to use them up as well. Kind of as Malabrigo March, just not posted to the group because they don't really qualify as a Malabrigo March project because the whole blanket's not Malabrigo. But anyway, this yarn, this is Malabrigo Rios, and I actually won it 2 years ago as part of Malabrigo March because there are prizes at the end of the knit along. It is a mystery colorway. I think it was one of their test colors or something, but it is really cool. Right up my alley because I love when teal is mixed with like browns. And it's interesting because there are parts where there are like little flecks of like highlighter yellow. Wait, it's focusing on me. There we go. There's one right there at the tip of my finger. And I don't know if that was like the dye deconstructing or something because this was like an experimental colorway as it has no name. And they do donate some of their experimental ones to the prize pot. So anyway, so the pattern, this is called an Italian summer scarf. And I only used one skein. This is something I was knitting for myself, and I only wanted a short thing just to kind of wrap around just once, just to have a little something. But you can customize this pattern to whatever you want. The pattern is by an Italian knitter. I think that is what they're... Yep, that is what they go by on Ravelry, an Italian knitter. And they have a variety of patterns like these. So there's a summer scarf, there's a winter shawl or a winter scarf or something like, or Italian winter shawl. Oh, I can't speak today. An Italian winter shawl, Italian winter scarf, that kind of thing. And they're all like similar in like ease and just potato chippiness and stuff. This knit up super fast, so great idea for a gift knit if you need something within like a week. You knit this up pretty quickly. And I think I'm just going to keep it on for the rest of the video, and I will probably wear it out this evening when I go with my parents. We're going to see Jersey Boys. So anyway, is there anything else I wanted to say about that? I don't think so. So let's move on to my Stephen West works in progress. Starting with Mosaic Musings. I did work on this one within the last week. I really wanted to finish the garter section. Try to do this without knocking stitches off the needles. Where did my little mooses go? There they are. Just gonna pop these little moose on. All right. So last time I was right here where the stitch marker is, and that is how much I worked on it this week. And that finishes off this garter section. So this is Mosaic Musings by Stephen West, and I'm knitting it out of Cozy Posy yarn in the Nunavut colorway. And Cozy Posy is a dyer from here in Nova Scotia. And the other yarn is Richard DeVries Pepino. Richard DeVries is another Canadian dyer. And this colorway is called Chocolate on Chocolate. So yeah, nothing very exciting here, just more garter, but really happy to have that section all done, and I can get back to another slip knit section and get this yarn back in progress again. So that is the Mosaic Musings, and then I also worked on my Jigsaw puzzle blanket by Stephen West, and this is the one where I started using up Malabrigo scraps. So when we posted last week, and I posted last week, I was in this situation here. I had this triangle, and I was planning on doing this section. So what I've decided with this blanket is that I would knit the yarns until they were used up and then just switch to a different yarn in that section. So that is exactly what I did. Like, this is one section right here, but I ran out, and then so I just added another yarn. This is Malabrigo. Oh, I think it's Rastita. Yeah, it's Rastita, and so is this one. For some reason, when I started knitting with this, it just seemed really thin, and it might have been because I've had this yarn for years, so it was in a cake for a really, really, really long time. I knit it with this originally like years ago, so it sitting in a cake might have like stretched it a bit or something, so I ended up holding it double just to make it a little oomphy. I'm not overly concerned about like gauge in this blanket as long as it's fairly close and everything like lines up. It's supposed to be DK weight or 2-fingering weight held double, and this is like DK weight held double, but it didn't like come out that thick, so it's fine. And then this one, pretty sure this is a either Fleece Artist or Handmaiden, and I can't remember the name of it. I know I have a very nice hat knit out of it that I really love, but these two balls of scraps were completely used up. And this is, when I started knitting with it, I knitted single because I originally thought that it was Malabrigo Silky Merino, which is a bit thicker, just slightly thicker than Rastita, but no, it's Rastita again. But I didn't hold it double, and maybe I should have, because I would have used up more of the yarn. There's still a little bit of the scraps from this left over, so this is a complete section. It's all done. So I knitted, since last week, I knitted 2 sections on this blanket. So yeah, I mentioned it's a Jigsaw puzzle blanket by Stephen West, right? Yes. So I'm going to let this rest probably this week and give some love to one of my other scrappy blankets that I haven't worked on a bit, either the Jelly Roll or the Northeasterly, probably both of them, and use up another ball of self-striping in the Northeasterly and a ball of self-patterning in the Jelly Roll. So this one is going to take a break for a bit, but I'm looking forward to getting on the next few sections because it is going to end up like squared off on this side, which is kind of exciting. So yeah, so that's the Jelly Roll. Not the Jelly Roll. It's not the Jelly Roll. It's the Jigsaw puzzle blanket. So anyway, what's next? Okay, let's talk about my Vintersol. So did I finish the yoke this week? No, I did not. I did work on it. So the reason why I didn't finish it is because my hands get tired knitting this. It is like an Aran weight on, are they 4.5 millimeter, I think? Yeah, on 4.5 millimeter. And this yarn, you know, it's a bit rustic. So it does tire my hands out, so I can't knit on a whole lot of it at once. So I'll do a row or two, and then I need a little break but it is chugging along. I have come to another like decrease round, so I'm getting there, because there's a decrease round every like, I don't know, 8 to 10 rounds, I can't remember, in the yoke. But this is how it looks now. I can't remember where I was. You'd think I would have stuck a little stitch marker in there so I would know, but yeah, it's getting there. I'm almost to the top of these, I don't know what you would call them. Are they trees? Are they compound leaves? Who knows? But I'm almost to the top of them, so yeah, so this is the Vintersol by Jennifer Steingass, and I am knitting it out of Let Lopey. So I've really wanted a Lopey sweater, and this is the one that I'm starting with. And really happy with how the color's coming out. So I'm going to knit probably a couple of rows on this each day until I am done the yoke. I am hoping that when I get to the body of the sweater, it doesn't tire my hands out as much, because it'll just be fluid knitting and not like picking up floats and stuff, and switching colors and picking up floats. So I'm really hoping for that situation when I get to the body, but who knows. So anyway, moving on to the next one. I didn't work on my Freddie Beach socks this week, but I will work on them this week, hopefully, to finish them. I'm going to bring them with me to my parents' house, and that'll be the project that I work on there. But I did work on my Soundwave socks. So last week I had like the one sock completed, and I cast on for the second sock. So I am past the cuff, and I got a couple of pattern repeats done there. And it's going to get into lighter colors here shortly. It's going to get into that blue, so it won't be, there'll be a little bit more contrast coming up soonly. Wait, what was I just going to do? Here we go. Yeah, so it's going to look a little more like that very shortly. So this is, yeah, like I said, the Soundwave socks, and it is from the Saltwater Socks book by Christine Legros and Shirley A. Scott, who have the Saltwater Knitting series. Hoping to have these finished this week as well. It might be a sock knitting week. It really is starting to look that way, because I'd really like to have these finished by the end of March, and that is coming up very soon. That is next Sunday. That is only a week away from today. So yeah, I'm going to prioritize the socks while also working on my Vintersol. And then next weekend, as a new cast on, I am going to do, or like an Easter weekend cast on, I am going to cast on the Emotional Support Chicken finally. So that's my plan for the chicken, is that it is going to get cast on next weekend. So the last work in progress that I have to talk to you about is my fire season blanket. And I'm really glad that I made the decision to do a separate color for 0, even though it's in the low category, because this would all just be blue right now if I did not do that. And really, the index was only in the 0 point something part of low. So it was like 0.4, 0.7, 0.1. So that's what this section here was. And this was all 0 starting out from March 15th. So I am knitting this out of Briggs & Little Heritage, and some of the colors that I'm using are exclusive to Deanne Fitzpatrick Studio in Amherst, Nova Scotia. And then a couple of them are regular colors. This is dark maroon. I can't remember what this one was. Something to do with the sky, I think. I'll put it here. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting into some other colors, but I'm thinking today that this will be going back to 0. Actually, I think it's time we can look that up right now. Yeah, so here are the fire weather indices for Nova Scotia today. Oh, I'll get my head out of the way. I go by any fire weather stations that are in Cape Breton, So right now, only 2 of them I think are operating. Grand River Falls and Marguerite. Yeah, so yeah, it'll be a while before Norman Tower's up and running, but I'm surprised Coxeath's, well, I guess I'm not overly surprised that Coxeath still isn't up and running because they had the worst of the snowmageddon down there. So there's probably still a ton of snow there. But today in Marguerite and in Grand River Falls, the indice is 0. So I will be going back to this dark maroon right here, at least for today. Maybe tomorrow, don't know. And then the end of the week it's supposed to start raining again, so even if I go up to the blue like say Tuesday, it's probably going to go back to dark maroon for a few days. And I don't think I mentioned the pattern that I'm using yet. It is a free pattern on Ravelry. It is the Garter Chevron Blanket by Catherine Anderson. So I'm really tickled with myself that I decided to go with something for 0, as otherwise this whole thing right now would be all blue. And I do love blue, but I kind of, you know, the whole purpose of a fire season blanket or a temperature blanket is to get all those colors popping up. So anyway, yeah, it's just, it's so much better this way. That is it for my works in progress. But did you see Amy Palco's new pattern? It is called the Gither Cowl. So the Gither is a word they use in Scotland for together. And I have heard it around here in Cape Breton because we do have a strong Scottish population, some who still speak Gaelic. I don't speak Gaelic, but I am of that Scottish descent. And so the cowl is like plaid-y looking. And I was thinking that, like, my family's tartan, it's not a common one, and it's only new. They only just assigned us a tartan like in 2007 or something like that. And if I want any of it, like, it's not in, if I go up to Tartans and Treasures in Dingwall, there's nothing of my tartan there. There's other parts of my family, like Campbell, like you can get Campbell anywhere. And then like McRae, you can get stuff for that one. I'm not sure about like Carmichael and stuff, but yeah, Campbell, like any of the stuff that we buy that's a Scottish tartan is always Campbell, because that is what my great grandmother was, and like the family going back, and like, you know, there were others, but like Campbell is the one that was mostly spoken about and the ones that we heard stories about and stuff like that. So yeah, so you normally when we buy anything it's Campbell, but it'd be really nice to have something Stephen. And so this this tartan is specifically for Stephens who came from the northeast part of Scotland, which my family did. My family came from Aberdeenshire in Scotland, and they actually owned a woolen mill. So yeah, that's super, that was an exciting piece of information to find out that my family owned a woolen mill. But anyway, the tartan is like black with light green, light blue, or like medium green and blue, and then there's just a little bit of purple, and it's really pretty. So I was thinking that I might make the Gither Cowl. That's kind of hard to say. I might make the Gither Cowl using those colors so that I have something of that tartan. I can order it from BC. I can order the tartan from BC, but then I don't know what I would do with it. I don't know. I'd make, I don't know, make something. Maybe a skirt or something would be fun. Or even like a project bag out of that tartan. Or I could send it to somebody. I know there's a lady who owns, I will put the name of it here. I've seen it on the Grocery Girls. She makes amazing tartan bags. I wonder if I sent her the fabric, would she make one? I'm like speaking hypothetically, sort of. Like this is not anything that's going to happen anytime soon. So maybe within 2 years. But that's an idea. I'm thinking out loud again because that is what I do here. But anyway, yeah, so the Gither Cowl, Stephen family tartan, that's an idea for yeah, the future, probably like the knitting will happen probably within the next year. So I'm gonna look at yarn options and stuff. And I'm not even actually sure what weight that cowl is, so I have no idea what yarn. I'd love to get like Jameson for it, but as I do enjoy Jameson. So that is it for me for today. Not a very long one, but next week I am going to record a video for Easter weekend. That's going to be a little bit longer and a different format, just a video that I've been planning to do for a while and just didn't get around to. And the week after that, we'll be back to our regular video, and that will be another stash down update one because we'll be into April. It's hard to believe. But anyway, until then, happy knitting, happy crafting, happy spring, and I will see you next time. Take care.